Hello, fellow Americans. You are on the YouTube channel Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. I talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. Keep your conservative voices active. Subscribe to this channel and listen as I talk about issues we are facing in our country and government. Visit my website, commonconstitutionalism.com. Enjoy reading my conservative blogs, and if you like them, maybe throw in a donation. While on commonconstitutionalism.com, go ahead and shop at the Sage Novelty Shop, where you will find shirts which feature our very own unique conservative political memes and captions. Display your conservative beliefs with pride. These items send a clear message without saying a word, or if you prefer, you can use them as a conversation starter. Come join my Facebook group, Common Constitutionalism, for discussions of topics, sharing of ideas, and interacting with others just like yourself who are proud to be Americans. With everything going on today, the rioting, the looting, the tearing down of our nation's statues and monuments, there's a lot of things going through my mind. So today, I want to talk about the destruction of America's statues and monuments raises questions to education. 25 years ago, the liberal public school system began removing history books from their curriculum. They replaced them with their own versions, rewritten to the liberal, politically correct ideology. This ideology began spreading across our country and eventually found its way into every federally funded public school district. Now we have Common Core, No Child Left Behind. They're getting rid of the grading system. It's going to a pass-fail system. Participation trophies, and everyone's a winner. I believe history is the most important subject to learn and understand as a people. A country without a history is a country doomed to repeat its failures. Fifth graders should be learning history basics, but not in depth. Basics of things, but not limited to founding fathers, the Constitution, World War I, World War II, 9/11, the original colonies, George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, slavery, the Civil War, segregation, civil rights, MLK, Martin Luther King, etc. The danger is that students' minds at a young age can be easily molded to retain a viewpoint that's pushed onto them, rather than a view they have developed for themselves. I believe history should be taught to younger students as general guidelines. Teach them to think, analyze, be skeptical, and aware of bias. Make history fun. Incite their curiosity. Being taught in this way will encourage them as they get older, high school and beyond, as their minds are capable of understanding a deeper dive into history. They will be ready to read and learn more and develop their own perceptions of what history means to them, not someone else's belief. 2 + 2 = 4. This is a fact, and it should be taught that way. History is about issues and events that have already taken place in a time. Perception of history is individual. It's a personal opinion. One should not be taught their opinion of slavery, indigenous people, or which side of a historical issue they should believe in. Historians should teach students to analyze historic documents carefully. Be skeptical when only one side of a story is presented. Be aware of biases and learn through history the facts of what was done before deciding if someone is right or wrong. Slavery, American Indians, Abraham Lincoln, FDR, JFK, MLK, civil rights, etc. These things mean nothing without historical knowledge to set against them. Through history, we can be more disciplined and deeper thinkers of issues and events. History should challenge us to be more independent and analytically minded. This cannot be accomplished at a young age. It requires experience, wisdom, analogy, and knowledge to develop sound opinion. The study of history should not be just to memorize specific dates or facts for a higher history test score, but rather one should study to understand the historical process. Only then can one be prepared to interpret the facts in a wise, independent, and meaningful way. Studying history should teach us to question how and why the future can be changed. Who is behind the changes? Whose interest will be served and whose interests are damaged? From history, we should learn that human action has consequence. By intelligently analyzing past events, we can ask the important questions. We can challenge assumptions and understand that human behaviors can be either very good or very bad. We know that only 18% of U.S. high school students are proficient in history, that many colleges do not require Western civilization courses, that in many school systems, high schools are changing their curriculum to only teach history from 1877 onward. They don't want anything to know about slavery, the abolishment of slavery, Abraham Lincoln, so on and so forth. And that a majority of teachers at the elementary level believe teaching history is a low priority, because many states do not test students on history at the state level. So they feel, why teach something that's not going to be tested? Statues and monuments are part of the history. Some are for good and some are for bad events. To hide them in museums away from the average person's view will only lead to forgotten lessons. Lessons both good and bad. Everyone, through intelligent, independent thinking, should develop their own opinion on which side of history they want to be on. But for people of a certain ideology, to destroy, remove, or hide historical artifacts from others who have a different opinion is arrogant. No one is forcing them to stand at a statue oogling it. They have the right to not look at it or look at it, just as someone else has the right to enjoy it. Without understanding the history, one cannot learn. Destroying the history will not change the history. It will only hide it. Which means it will be repeated. Because without knowing the past, there is nothing to stop one from making the same mistakes all over again. Indoctrination in the school systems. I believe the public education system should take most of the blame for poorly prepared and uninformed students. However, parents should also be blamed for a variety of reasons. History needs to be taught by inciting an enjoyment and curiosity necessary for the students to desire asking questions, seeking both sides of an issue, and developing individual thought. But that is not how the system teaches today. Unfortunately, we will always have the less informed individuals. And as I mentioned before, the liberal takeover of the public school system and the implementation of their own ideological programs have dumbed down the entire learning process. At times, I find myself wondering if the liberal movement to dumb down education is done with the distinct purpose of keeping students less informed in all subjects. By teachers not encouraging independent thought, is their true goal to have kids come out of the system, elementary through college, as indoctrinated recruits to the liberal agenda, as sheep to blindly follow? I wonder. Is this irresponsible, uncaring, and self-serving attitudes of the people rioting and destroying monuments a testament to the uninformed, indoctrinated mentality by the school systems? I wonder that. Your vote does matter now more than ever. Please vote conservative across the board in 2020. Thank you. Let's see what we can accomplish here. My aim is to create a loyal following so I can continue bringing awareness to these kinds of issues. We will talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. I would appreciate you all exploring, donating, subscribing, joining, and shopping on my sites. You will see them displayed at the beginning and the end of the videos. Until next time, this is Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. Thank you, America.